Welcome everyone. I'm just finishing my drawing right now. I'm going to show it all to you and then we can talk about how to make it. Today I drew a cactus in a bowl that has line and shape patterns on it in different colors. I'm going to show you how to make the same thing. Because I'm going to be using markers, I always like to keep a different piece of paper on my table so the marker doesn't show through. I'm going to start with a pencil though, because if I want to change something, I can change it in the marker. So to start my project of a cactus in a bowl, I'm going to turn my paper and I'm going to make a very skinny letter C. Hard to see it in pencil, I'll go ahead and make it in marker. There's my very skinny letter C. And then I'm going to turn that, and from the top and the bottom of the C, or the sides now, because I turned it, I'm going to make it into a bowl. The open part of the C is where I'm going to put my cactus. So I can make all different kinds. First, I like to make a shorter one in the front. Maybe that'll have a couple of little pieces on it. And then I'll move up the page a little bit and make another cactus. This one's going to have those arms that are kind of a traditional cactus look. And then maybe I'll make another cactus here behind that one. Or I could make a pointy one going out the back. Maybe there's one on this side. Maybe there's another little cactus down here that's very small. After I have my cactuses made, I'll outline them, and then it'll be time to start making patterns on my bowl. While I'm outlining, I want to remember that when I'm decorating my bowl, I can use lines or shapes or patterns or combinations of all of those things. And I can make them on my cactus too. I like it that my cactus are kind of overlapping. Some are in front of the others. There we go. When it's time to make the decorations on my bowl, I like them to look a little bit round because my bowl is a little bit round. So I like to make a straight line in the middle, and then I make some guidelines that curve in the direction that the bowl is curving. So that when I make my patterns or lines, they might curve a little bit too. Now, I wouldn't normally make these in marker, but I think I'll make them so you can see what I'm talking about. So I would just make a couple of little curves to show that my bowl is curved. And then here where it's in the middle, it will be straighter. And then as the bowl goes around, it's a little more curved. Maybe even one more line here. So if I did that in marker, it makes a checkerboard pattern all on its own. If I had just done that in pencil, it would help me make the patterns that I wanted to make by going from the top of a square to the bottom of the next square with a zigzag. Or maybe I want to take each line and make a checkerboard type pattern. Maybe I want to make a pattern with shapes like maybe half circles or triangles. It's really up to you to decide what kind of lines and shapes that you want to make on your bowl. But on the corners of the bowl, I like to bend them a little bit so that it makes my bowl look a little bit rounder. So here I'll make a checkerboard. Here I've got a zigzag that I kind of like. Up here, maybe I'll make a row of rectangles. It's up to you to decide what you like to make, but when I make a design, I like to have some repetition of the shapes that I used. And I can go ahead and make some kind of lines on my cactus too. So maybe on this one, I'll have some wavy lines going up to the top. Maybe I'll have some wavy lines going in the arms. On this cactus, maybe I'll make that same trick of straight in the middle, curving on the sides to kind of give it that 3D look. Here I'll add a little texture, maybe a little pointed. So you can see I'm going to make each cactus just a little bit different. I can make the little needles on the cactus too, but I don't have to make that many if I don't want to. And some cactuses have little flowers that grow out of them, so I can make a few of those too. Now, if I have colors, I can color it. But if I just want to make it black and white too, I can use my black and white marker, or well, it's just a black marker, but I could use it to make patterns on my cactus as well. Maybe I'll make some zigzags in every other stripe. After I make my zigzags, maybe I'll make some polka dots. And here, so that I add more visual interest. If I just leave my cactuses plain, they're not as interesting to look at. But if I add some kind of design by adding lines, it adds more visual interest. And it helps my cactus look more finished. The different patterns in black and white can also separate one cactus from the other. This is called cross-hatching lines, where I make lines that go across in a different direction than the first lines I made. As you go, you can decide what kind of decorations you want to make on your cactus too. Now, if you don't have markers either, sometimes you could make a project just by drawing it with a pencil and then cutting out shapes. I went to the mailbox and there was a catalog in the mail, and I found some of the pages in the catalog that were green or different colors, and I made another cactus by cutting out shapes and gluing them down. I had a pop container in the recycling bin that I cut open to make my background color, and then I just used different colors from the magazine to make a bowl with some stripes. I made some cactuses that I found green pages in the magazine with, and then I used my marker to make some lines on top. So there's all kinds of different ways you could make a cactus using lines, shapes, and patterns. Bye-bye, everybody.